my name is Alice Ramos. I am a holistic life coach, and I want to do a series of 4 videos talking about emotional intelligence, because that is one of the aspects I deal with life coaching, since I work with healthy habits with clients in English and in Spanish. I wanted to do this first video in English, the first of 4 videos, in which I will include different aspects of how I have learned that this emotional intelligence is built within us. And one of the aspects I like to talk about the most to create healthy relationships is the aspect of nonviolent communication. The communication is very important to have healthy relationships. And how can we be assertive and get the message through the other person is a very important aspect of the way in which we can give the message and also listen to the other person in the right way, get to agreements that are good for both parts, not just for one. And that way we can help build each other and trust each other and also follow through those agreements. So there's this book called the Nonviolent Communication by Rosenberg, and it is a great book that I recommend you to read, because it's a compassionate way to look at communication and also to look within us as a process of self-knowledge. And when we look inside of us and see how do we feel and what do we need to feel a certain way, then we can address that information and give that to the other person, so that the person can really listen, understand, and then we can also practice listening in a compassionate way to the other person, and that way then we can create that agreement. So basically, the nonviolent communication consists of four parts. The first one is to describe the facts that were disturbing you or making you feel in an uncomfortable way. Describe it as a fact, because if we start putting our emotions in front of the facts, then things can look like we are judging the other person, and then the other person will try to defend themselves or will try to counter-attack, and then the communication will be blocked. So what we want to do by this exercise is keeping both hearts open to the communication and not to block each other with that. So it's important to first set the facts of what has happened. When this happened, when these and these things happen, then you can tell how do you feel? How do you feel about that situation that happened? But for example, it's not saying when you did that, when you made me feel like that, then you take away the responsibility from yourself and put the responsibility just in the other person, when a relationship is about 2 people or 2 parts or different parts, right? But in this case that we are talking about a one-to-one relationship, then we have to be clear in narrowing down each part of the non-violent communication, so that it can keep in it can stay in a harmonious way. So first, you need to tell what happened, facts, just facts, not like add some judgment into it. And then after that, say how you feel. Why? Because how you feel is important, and we all need to validate our feelings. And the feelings are something that we just have inside of us, and they will pass, they will get to us, and then they can be released if we give them the space and to recognize what we really feel. So for example, I feel confused, or I feel sad, or I feel happy, or I feel surprised. If you say how you feel, no one can tell you that you don't feel that way. Because first the facts are the truth, and then what you feel is the truth. So we are speaking with the truth, and that will come forward in our conversation to build trust. So you have those two parts, and with the feeling part, you need to acknowledge what you feel or what you felt at a certain moment when the events happen. But it's good to make a space between the things that happened and that get you into a zone where you can be overwhelmed by feelings, and then make a reflection about the feelings so that you can give that information to the person, being in a space of a clear mind. So once you have that, you have established the facts and then what you feel, then it's important for you to recognize what you need. So what you need is something very personal, and it's a process of self-knowledge, because it's you have to get into the situation, and when you narrow down these steps, you can understand yourself better. And that is the first step, because when you need something, maybe the other person can give it to you, or maybe you can give it to yourself. And then sometimes you don't need the conversation, but you have that non-violent communication within you, and you could recognize your needs. And that is very important, so that we don't have resentment on other people, knowing that there are things that we can provide to ourselves, and that is what we can really control. And don't be expecting that from the other person. But if there is something that when you complete your reflection about, when you complete all the thinking process about the facts, about how you feel and what you need, that the other person can provide you to help you or support you get to another emotional state, then you can identify those needs, and you can say to the person, I need to have the need to feel safe, or I have the need to feel more joyous in life. I have the need to keep my peace of mind, and then you can help me in these specific ways. Then there's the request from that need. Giving the person ideas of what that person can do for you that might support those needs that you have. It's not for, to make a request for the person to solve your issues or the way you feel. Is to ask for support and reach out, connecting from vulnerability, from a vulnerable space, but also a conscious space. You can ask for that person about different options that you find reasonable for you to make agreements upon. Then there comes you have to create a space for you to listen. And in the same way that you open up you open up to the discussion of the facts of how you felt, of what you need, and what you can request or ask for, then you can listen to the person tell you the same things. If the two people in the same space have this format of communication, it would be so much easier, and from a space of no judgment, and really with the real intention of creating an agreement, that this will continue being a healthy relationship. And this is very important. The emotional intelligence is something that you build with the experiences you have in difficult situations. So to be brave enough to open up these conversations, and maybe don't let time pass, and you have this need that you don't recognize, or you have this feeling that you are not looking at in an uncomfortable way, that then you will keep on going, retaining those feelings, and it doesn't feel good for two people to relate in that way. So we are preserving our mental health and our peace by building these bridges of communication. And that's why I wanted to give you this tool so that you can learn how to communicate and embrace that kind of communication, because it also gives help us really to have a more peaceful world and a more healthy world, because we're having healthy relationships. And that's some of the things I work with my life coaching sessions, like in more specific frames, specific situations that are happening in your life. Then we can narrow that down. We can work through those processes, and then it would be a trial and error thing. Don't think that from the first time you know this kind of communication, it's gonna be great and you will get along and you will make these great agreements, because it's a trial and error. But the first step is having this assertive communication. And after that, when you listen to the other person, like with the open heart and with the real intention of making the agreement, then with your ideas and your requests and with empathy, you can create these agreements that are going to help you with this relationship. But also after that, then you need to address those issues and really make an effort for that to work and to honor those agreements. And both people have to do that. So if after this communication, then you follow up through action, you will see that things can be very different and relationships can be healthier. And in that way, we can keep on building our health in so many layers. That is why I have this holistic vision, because by working 20 years as a trainer, 10 years as a yoga teacher, and 3 years as a life coach, I have been understanding that there are more layers to health that we can even imagine. And we have to work with our minds and also with our bodies, but together. And that is a way that we create a more conscious lifestyle, a more healthy lifestyle, and that we can bring more love into our lives, more empathy. And when you have those tools, your world really expands and evolves. So I wanted to share with you this. I hope you have enjoyed this and that you can apply this, and also you can know that I'm available for you for online consultations, life coaching consultations. If it has been challenging for you to communicate in an assertive way, then I can guide you through the process, and I can be by your side in this process. Well, not in the actual moments where you're going to communicate, but to create this new pattern. This is a new healthy pattern that you can create for your life, and that will help you definitely. It will change. It will be a game changer, really. So that is something that I have learned and that I teach to my clients. They have completely changed their relationships with their partners, with their kids, and that fulfills me a lot from what I do. So you can reach out to me. I am here for you to start a coaching process. It can be in English or in Spanish. That is my first language. So I'm starting to release these videos in English since I'm living in the United States, but working online. So you can reach me from wherever you are, and I'll be happy to help you. I hope you have a great day, and always remember to keep a healthy lifestyle and healthy habits. Take care.